Happy Mother's Day to all of our mothers today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Whether you're running on coffee or dry shampoo or the grace of God, you made it today. Welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Well, today we are celebrating moms and real life, as we saw from this video. We figured the best way to do that is just let some amazing moms tell some stories. Are you guys ready?
We've got two groups with us today, and we're going to kick off with the first one. These two, they grew up together. They're not just new moms, they are sisters. You got to see a glimpse into their life just for a few moments, just a moment ago. Would you please welcome with me Dallas and Tori? I really like the fact that we saw the real life moment just now that you guys didn't get to hear that happens all the time on Mother's Day. She just said Happy Mother's Day to me, so that really makes me feel special.
I did, yeah.
It happens all the time. I'm saying Happy Mother's Day to anybody I see today, so it just happens. So sorry. It's the natural thing.
Like whenever you get your food and they're like, enjoy your food. You too.
Yeah, you tell the server you too. Yeah, it's really, and the flight attendant says, or the person checking you into the flight says, enjoy your flight, and you say, you too. You're like, oh, you're not flying today, are you? Yeah, those are embarrassing things.
Well, you both are looking so pretty today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about you and your precious little pumpkins.
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm Dallas, the mom to my baby girl, Noah. She is 9 months old, and this is my sister.
So I'm the younger sister. I'm Tori. I'm 22 years old, and I just had a baby boy, Judah, 3 months ago. But to me, he's still my little newborn.
There is a lot we're going to learn here today, and I'm excited about it. What's one of the moments that is funny now, but when it happened, it was you just trying to survive?
Oh my gosh. This just happened recently.
I'll go. On Wednesday, actually, this past Wednesday, we get to church early. I had a meeting with Brother Andy, actually, and of course, we get here right on time because,
we can't get anywhere early.
So we get here right on time, and then I go to the car, get Noah out of the back, and all I see is yellow poop everywhere. Oh my goodness. So I'm running.
We told you it was going to be real. I didn't know it was going to be that real. But we're real today, I guess.
I am running through the parking lot trying to get her changed.
I see her from the other side of the parking lot, and I'm like, where are you going? Don't you know where Brother Andy's office is? She's heading this way. Yeah, we're supposed to be in the meeting together. And I call her, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? She goes, I have to go. There's poop everywhere. I have to go. I'm like, okay, I can handle this. I'll go to the meeting for the both of us. We'll get this figured out. I go to the meeting with Brother Andy, and him being the kind person that he is he asks me, should we wait for Dallas? Okay, I didn't know what the severity of the situation was, if this was like a level 1 blowout, level 10, what we were dealing with here. So I call her back, thankfully not on speaker, and I say, hey, we're waiting for you. Do you want us to start without you? And all I hear is, I can't do this right now. I've got to go. There's poop everywhere. There's everywhere. Thankfully, she was not on speaker. So I calmly tell Brother Andy, I think we should probably continue without Dallas for this one.
Yes.
I came to meet her afterwards, and she was right. It was everywhere. This was like not a level 10, a level 20.
It was really bad, guys, everywhere. But now we laugh.
Yeah, it was not funny in the moment.
So we don't cry.
It is funny now.
You guys are wild. Wow. This is fun.
And I think all of us as moms, if you know, you know. Yeah. We know. Yeah. How has becoming a mom changed the way you see your mom?
Well, something that I would say here is I feel like every kid goes through a stage where you are kind of mean to your mom. My mom would probably agree in those teenage years. And I feel like now that I've become a mom, I have so much more grace for her. it kind of is like taking a step back and realizing that she was just figuring it all out at the same time that we were being raised. And something in particular that I can remember or that comes to mind is the fact that whenever I'm feeling sick or have a little bit of a cold, I'm like, oh my goodness, I still have to take care of Judah. I don't know how I'm going to entertain him and laugh and smile and be happy. But I look back on my mom, and I remember years ago when we were teenagers, our mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I feel like we didn't really notice at the time how much she was going through while she was, recovering, going through chemo, going through radiation. And yet she still showed up for us, and that's why we didn't notice. She never had a day where she was like, sorry guys, I can't be your mom today because I'm not feeling well. And so I think about me having a little cold and just needing to take some Dayquil and it's fine. And my mom was going through some of the fight for her life. And so I feel so appreciative towards her. And I realized just how much strength she had to be able to still be there for us during that time.
Yeah, you remember that time we went to our spring break trip, actually, and my mom was so sick. That just reminded me of her being sick, and we drive 18 hours to Florida.
Yeah, we wanted to go all the way to the
spring break
end.
trip, and she had just gone through radiation, and all we remember is having fun, and that's just what I want for my baby girl, and I want her to see me. And I, whatever I'm going through, I, help her have those great memories.
Yeah, our mom definitely knew how to put our needs and our fun before herself and before her own pain. And that's something that I think we both want to carry on. For me with Judah and Dallas with Noah, is just still being able to show up for them and bring the magic like moms always do, even whenever in reality, life is hard sometimes.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I have something very similar. I think a lot of you know that my mom passed when I was really young. Towards the end of her life, I just have this vivid memory where she could barely get out of bed. And one service, I knew that I wanted to get baptized. And she was really sick, barely could get out of bed, very frail. And I told her, I said, Mom, I want to get baptized. And so that next Sunday we went to church, and she could barely lift up her little hands, but she was there, and she came up to the baptismal. It was a horse trough. And I came out of the water, and I remember my mom, and she just had me, and she was jumping, and she was just so happy that, she saw her daughter be able to go through something like this. But even in the sickness and barely being able to get out of bed, she was being mom still, and she was able to see me get baptized.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think every mom, every individual in this room has a story, I think, of either your mother or a mother figure in your life that has some superhuman power to push past whatever they're dealing with for their child, for those around them. And it is beautiful to see just these stories representing so many stories in the room of people saying, yeah, there was some moment in my life where they pushed through, and it didn't, at the time, we don't really recognize it. At the time, it's kind of like, it's just life. It's just mom being mom. And then you realize much later that, wait a second, that was a superhuman power that they had to be able to push through that. So I think that's beautiful. Let me ask you another question. What's something that has surprised you about being a new mom?
I think just how quick you fall in love with your baby. Yeah. Before they're even here, you're wanting to protect them, you're eating right, you're doing everything that you can, just how quick you want to protect them from everything. And yeah, I think that was just...
I agree. I would say for me, something that surprised me was just how naturally those motherly instincts will come in. When I first found out that I was pregnant, I was so scared, and I mean terrified. I was like, I do not know what I'm gonna do. I'm too young to be a mom. I don't know anything. I'm just a teenage girl. I'm not actually a teenager, but I remember going to your office, Pastor, with my husband, Talon, and sitting in there and telling you, I don't know what to do, and just crying my eyes out because I felt ill-equipped and not ready to be stepping into this journey so soon. And when I just remember after having Judah, it was almost like as soon as he was birthed, I was like, I know the instincts. It was God really just equipped me and told me or showed me what I needed to do. It was not even a question of if I love this baby or what if I'm going to take him home with me. He's coming home with me. It wasn't a question of if, he
had to hold him, anything.
Yeah, it wasn't. It just came naturally, and I felt so blessed to know that something you mentioned to me, Pastor, in that meeting was that God was choosing me to be Judah's mom, and I could trust in that and have confidence in that. You reminded me in that meeting that, of course, I love my baby, but how much more does God love my baby? And while we get to be his parents here on earth, God is the utmost father figure, and he is going to protect him and walk with me and help me through this journey.
What's one small thing that your baby does that absolutely melts you, even on the hardest days?
Oh my goodness. So ever since Judah turned 2 months old, he has this little smile that I am obsessed with. It's kind of distracting sometimes, but if any of you guys have ever seen him and talked to him, he will smile at you, and it's the sweetest thing, and I love it.
Oh, he has the cutest smile. Noah, actually, right now, she waves at everyone. Yes. I get stopped all the time.
Yeah, she goes,
I'm really
hey.
Antisocial. But I get stopped. She's like, hey. Yep. Oh, my goodness. And she loves to give kisses.
She does.
She has to give like 5 kisses a day. Or
she always is giving kisses
especially
to Judah.
To Judah.
Yeah.
Judah is her favorite.
Yeah.
You need to teach her to wave like this.
The queen.
If you see this every time you see her, just see Noah waving like this. All right, so how has your relationship as sisters changed now that you both are mothers?
Yeah, we've always been really close, best friends. I mean, even where we went to college together, we moved out together, we even had our first job.
Yeah, we worked together.
But when I got married, I moved to California for a bit, and that was pretty hard. We had to do everything virtual. It was a 3-hour difference, so even on Sundays, I would be leaving from church, and she'd be going to church, and so that was pretty tough to talk. But whenever me and my husband found out we were pregnant with a baby, we knew we wanted her close to family, and so that's when we moved back home, which is such a blessing that we were able to do that. And now we're just so close, and I'm just so grateful to have her to lean on during hard times that you go through as being a mom. I know in the beginning, actually, we went through a pregnancy scare with Noah, and I thought we were gonna miscarry, and Tori was there. You're crying. Tori was there, and she sent us the song "The Blessing" by Carrie Joe, which was just timely and a really sweet message that we needed, and we listened to that all the time. And God blessed us with this baby. He wanted us to have this baby. He equipped us to be her parents, and you just reminded us of that, and she does that all the time. And I feel like we're just even closer, and we just lean on each other more.
Yeah, we're definitely inseparable now. We're pretty much at each other's house every single day with our babies, just trying to make it through. Dallas mentioned that she moved to California, and I feel like whenever she moved away, that was kind of a time for me to, learn how to be me. My sister and I have always been close, literally to the point where people would confuse us at work and call me Dallas and her Tori, and we would just answer them and not even correct them. And so whenever she moved away, it hurt me, and it was really difficult, but it was also a time for me to learn how to lean on God and to trust in him and be confident in who I am, even with my sister on the opposite side of the country. And it feels like whenever she moved back, we knew that it was because of her having Noah and wanting to be close to family. But I also know that it wasn't a coincidence, because God knew that months later I would be having Judah and that we would need each other in this season. Yeah. And it has just been such a blessing to be able to call my sister and be like, I don't know what he's doing. Please help me. He's crying and I can't make him stop. Or what products do you use for Noah? Help me, please. And just the fact that it was all in his perfect timing. She moved away when she needed to grow in love with her husband and become independent there. And then she came back right whenever God knew that she needed to be back to help support my family.
I love it. Yesterday, we wanted to touch base with him before this. It was later last night. We wanted to go over a question. And my wife and I called her Sister Tor. I can't remember who we ended up calling. Sister Dallas. Yeah. Sister Dallas. We called, and I was like, all right, we need to three-way your sister in so we can kind of talk about this thing. But is there any wild chance this late at night that you guys are together? And they were like, oh, yeah, we're together. We're always together. Sister Tiffany.
Yes. How has being a part of the church community helped you as new moms?
Oh, the community. There's so many new moms in the same era that we're in. And so it's just so nice to just be like, hey, what are we doing for the teething? Are you sleeping through the night? It's just so nice to just be able to, have someone to ask those questions, and our little babies are going to grow up together and be the next generation, and they're just going to be best friends. So that's just awesome.
It is amazing to have so many new moms in the same era or same season as us. Yeah. But it's also amazing because I don't want to say veteran moms, but moms that have been in this for quite a while have also...
That's okay. Veteran moms is fine. You guys will wear that, right? That's fine.
Yeah. You guys have been there for us, too. And someone in particular that has really been there for me in this season is Sister Rachel. I keep crying. I'm sorry, guys. So... Sister Rachel and Brother David were actually some of the first people that knew my husband and I were expecting Judah. And again, as I already mentioned, that was kind of a nerve-wracking time for us. We didn't know how we were going to be parents or if we would even do it well. And they were there for us to encourage us and remind us, similar to what Pastor did. And it's even just the small things after having Judah. I'm sure many moms know that postpartum is crazy. There are so many thoughts, so many new things. Everything is new because you've never done this before. And I remember experiencing some anxiety and some worry. And Sister Rachel, she texted me, as she always does, just right at the right moment. And she asked me how I was doing. And it wasn't anything extravagant or anything crazy, but it was just what I needed at that time for me to be able to share with her how I was feeling and what I was going through. And she was there for me to encourage me, as always. It's always just the small things, from a text message to them offering to come pick me up for church if I need to. Just knowing that they're there and that they're in our corner has been amazing.
Yeah. I love it. Isn't that beautiful? There's so many blessings about being a part of a church family, and we get to come worship together, but there is a true community that are here for each other for whatever season of life that we're in, and I'm thankful to be a part of that. I've got one more question for you before we go, and if your baby could fully understand you for just 10 seconds, what would you want them to hear from you right now?
I would just tell little Noah that you are loved, and you're loved by your parents, but you are mainly loved by God, and you are strong and confident, and no matter what anyone tells you, God has a purpose for you in this life, and you're going to do great, great things for the Lord, and we just love you.
Yes. If I could say something to Judah, I would let him know that he is so loved, similar to what Dallas said, by his parents, by God, but also by so many of you. It's been amazing to be able to bring him here to church and see how many of you are excited to just love on him. So I would remind him of that. And I would also let him know that he has a calling on his life. Judah, you are a man of God. You're going to walk in his word, and your dad and I are going to do everything that we can to make sure that that is your foundation.
Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so we're doing something really special today. We're going to celebrate the new moms of the room here, and we know that you've got a lot going on, new moms, and we know that you deserve a break even from the blowouts that they talked about in great detail. And you deserve a break from Miss Rachel. If you know, you know. All right, you deserve a break from a cooking. So one of the amazing moms in our church recently opened a new restaurant called the Tamale Factory. Yes. So what better way to celebrate than to send you guys over there for a meal on us? You get to get all the Mexican goodies you can eat for a meal on us. So to help us with our drawing today, we have two very special VIPs backstage waiting for their big moment. It's Noah and Judah. Send out Judah. Okay, so if you're a new mom with a child under 2, your name is in this basket. Go ahead, and we're going to have, you know what, Noah, go ahead and do the honors. You ready? She's going to eat the microphone.
Yeah, she's going to eat it.
Look at that. Go for it. All right, go ahead and pick out of there. There you go. Pick out. What do you got? Who do we got?
Can you read that? Mariah Torres.
Hey! Come on down. That's exciting. Tori and Dallas, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank
Your
you.
precious babies, your amazing husbands that are here with you. We love you. We love you. One more time, would you give them a round of appreciation for being here with us today? All right, so we're going to hear from some moms that have graduated, okay? These moms are the ones that are done with the diapers. They're done with the drama. They've raised the kids without Google. They survived the dreaded teenage years, and now they have grandkids calling them Nana, calling them Mimi, calling them Gigi, calling them Grammy, and a whole bunch more. I present to you Grandma.
My grandchildren called me Grandma, but I would prefer if they had called me Jazzy G's.
Nana. I chose that name because I said it'd be easier to pronounce. Okay, it take them too long to say Grandma.
My grandkids call me Mimi, and I have them call me Mimi because I'm a young grandmother.
They call me Grammy. I decided actually Sister Forbish. That's because that's what, and I just liked it. I like the sound of it. I'm like, oh, I like that.
Don't use that.
Grammy, and they call me Meme.
Well, bless the Lord.
It is, I love you to the moon, over and over.
So I tell my grandkids I love them, and they tell me I love you, Mimi, and I'll always tell them I love you more.
One thing that I say to them all the time is I call them my best buddy and best friend.
Everything. And they all say I couldn't do that at home.
So probably skip that question for.
I buy these kids everything. I might as well sign my check over.
Every time we're in the store, I'll tell them we are not buying anything, okay? Nobody asks for anything. Guess what? We get in the store and everybody, Mimi, can we have this? And I'll tell them, okay, 2 things.
Being a mom, you know, when you become a mom, you're like, the love that you have for your child, you think it can't be any deeper than that. But I think becoming a grandmother, that love even goes a little deeper.
The depth of love for these little people
I didn't know my heart could expand more. I had no idea the love that I could have for heart grows so big being a grandmother, and you just love your grandkids so much.
I pray for my kids and my grandkids, the same thing. That God will protect them mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And that He doesn't leave one of those out.
I pray that my grandchildren are blessed when they go out, that they're blessed when they come in. I pray that they love the Lord with all their heart and that they lean not to their own understanding.
Well, that I taught him to love other people. Yeah.
How much that I love them and how much that I love the Lord.
I would want my grandkids to call me a woman of God. Somebody that prayed for them, and somebody that loved them and cared for them. And hopefully they'll miss me.
Well, we're going to miss you all right. We got another 42 years, and then we'll miss you after that. But my goodness, what an incredible thing it is to have a grandmother. And there's so many grandmothers in the room. And today we are just saying how much we are happy that we're here. We're saying if grandmas ran the world, every belly would be full, every heart would be happy, and every couch would be covered with plastic. If you know, you know. But we're thankful for our grandmothers. So listen, we're going to do something special for our grandmothers today. We've got a gift for you. We want to give you. If you're a grandmother in the room, your name is in this basket. Go ahead, Sister Tiffany. Do the honors. Who's the blessed grandmother today? Michelle Coward, where you at? Come on down. We're looking for you. There you are. She's going that way there. All right, welcome. We're so happy that you're getting to win something special today. Well, here we are. We're going to bring up some moms that are right in the trenches, okay? These mothers, they are juggling kids, they're juggling work, they're juggling ministry, and somehow everything they need is still in their purse. You know what I'm saying? You guys know those moms that, like, no matter what it is, it's in there. They could need, I don't care what it is, it's in there. They've got 5 spare batteries, they've got antibiotics, they've got Band-Aids, I don't know, the nuclear codes, they've got everything is in their purse. These ladies represent that here today. Please welcome Sister Amber, Sister Marari, and Sister Catherine. Come on out. Okay, so real quick, we've got Sister Amber. She's got 4 kids. She homeschools them. She and Brother Dwight, they run our children's ministry. They are childrened out. They've got a lot of children things going on. She is an incredible mother and administrator and does a phenomenal job at everything she does. Welcome, Sister Amber.
Next, we have Sister Marari, who is raising twins and a kindergartner, all while being a pastor's wife of our Spanish church. And she is still showing up, playing the piano and playing the saxophone like it's nothing.
Can I say this really quick? Sister Marari, I'll go over there to the Spanish service, and especially when the babies were a little bit younger, she was in the back, like rocking the baby, trying to keep it to sleep, singing, leading worship from the back of the sanctuary, rocking the baby to sleep. You know, and I was like, wait a second, there's a beautiful voice, and I don't see who's singing. She's in the back singing and rocking the baby. So, yeah, that's what a mom can do. And Sister Catherine, she's got a full-time job. She has a beautiful daughter and still somehow finds the time to lead our guest guide team with her husband, Brother Chris. She is a big part of the reason why our foyer doesn't feel like DMV, okay? So thank you. Welcome, Sister Catherine.
Well, we're going to start it out real simple. What is something you've just stopped trying to get perfect? Matching socks, clean car, homemade meals?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind for me is, especially when my kids were younger, was my car. So my mother-in-law used to get on me when my kids were little because my car was never clean, ever. This is when we lived a little ways away, and so my car consisted of Cheez-Its, Goldfish, all crushed into the carpet. At any given moment, you could have socks, dirty clothes, anything, And I always used to tell her, you can either have kids or you can have a clean car. You can't have both, okay? You just can't. So that's the first thing that came to mind with me, and just the everyday household stuff, those little things like dishes and laundry, just forget about it. Once you have a pile of kids like I do, those aren't worth stressing about. So yeah, that would be for me.
So for me, I stopped worrying about ironing kids' clothes. Oh my goodness, I have enough wrinkles to worry about, so no for my kids.
Yeah, for me, it would be home-cooked meals. It's not my strength. It's something I've recognized over the years. By the time I get home from work, most days, everyone's already so hungry. So Chris helps out a lot with the meal prep, and I do have a few things in rotation, but I'll put it this way. I burned leftover pizza this past week, so not my strength.
Oh, I've never heard of that. That sounds like me. When you know you're doing good, when you burn the leftover pizza, that's really good. I love that. Pastor Rozo sent me a video not too long back. They had some folks over to their house from their church or something, and they brought some children over, and the entire bottom floor of their house went from, he showed me like a before and after picture. It was like everything was perfect, and then every toy in the whole house was out in a matter of seconds. And then that family is just like, all right, see you later, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah, it's some things you just don't have perfect once you have children. So what's something that your kids have taught you that has surprised you?
I would say just to slow down. And that's important. There's been many times where I find myself so busy trying to fill our calendar with every fun event and making sure we don't miss anything. And sometimes I'm at one event planning for the next event, and I'm not in the moment. And Abby has showed me that, sometimes she just wants to stay home. And our favorite memories are those quiet, well, maybe not quiet, but those times at home where it's just me, her, and Chris just hanging out.
Yes, I want to say that when my kids get sick, they want to be at church. So they had taught me that even I don't feel good, I need to be here, because they always say, Mommy, I want to go to church. They will pray for me. I will stay good. I will be good. So they have taught me that, yes.
Come on, somebody. Where are they at? They're preaching the next sermon. Shh. You know where to go when you're not feeling good. Come to the place that you can get healed. Come to the place where the power of the Holy Ghost is flowing, where the faith is at. Woo! The Rozo children are preaching.
Go ahead. Now that you're moms, do you find yourself saying or doing anything that your mom used to do? Maybe some things you said, I would never do.
Sorry, that's a hard one. I don't know if it's necessarily something that my mom does that I do, but I was talking to my husband about this yesterday, and it was funny because it's crazy how your perspective changes as you become a mom. And so when I first got married, if you would have told me that I would have 4 kids and be homeschooling my children and not working, I would have laughed in your face. Because that's not how I was raised. My mom was a very strong, hardworking mom. She worked multiple jobs raising me, and she was a single mom. And so I wasn't raised in that kind of environment. And so if you would have told me that when I first became a mom, wow, it wouldn't have been that I would have picked. But I'm so thankful that God changes our hearts and changes how we perceive the world and what we want to do for our kids and what we want to instill in our kids and be there for our kids. So that's really what has helped me, yeah.
This is not spiritual at all, but there are a couple things my mom did that I thought I would never do, and that is chewing half sticks of gum, because I thought that was the weirdest thing. Does anybody else chew half sticks of gum? Because I do now. It's just one is just too much. I just want a little bit. But I thought she was crazy.
You're not sharing it. You're not sharing it with your child?
No,
You're
I
just-
save the half for later.
just
Well, I
saving.
sometimes offer it to Chris, and then he looks at me like I've just lost it. He's like, "Why would somebody
One is
chew?"
the limit. One's the limit.
I
right?
mean, it's
Yeah.
just too much.
One is too much. Oh my Lord. That's one of my favorite quotes of the day. One stick is just way too much. We're going with half sticks of gum.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
You know, my mom, I thought this was crazy growing up, but paper towels, similar to the gum, she would never let us have a full paper towel. And I find myself these days where I cut it in half and I give my family half a paper towel because one is too much. We got to save that stuff. It's special. And it's expensive.
My grandma was the one that would reuse the paper towels. So she would wipe, you know, and then she would rinse it out and let it dry, and then she would reuse the paper towels. Bounty, you know, they sell that for that reason. Like you can rinse them, and that's like their whole market.
Oh,
you know,
man.
So.
They don't make paper towels like that anymore. You get them wet, they're just done. Wow, it is true, y'all. My wife is just like rips that thing right in half. You don't need the full paper towel, y'all. I'm like, we're frugal, but I mean, I think we can afford a full piece.
Oh, yeah. And you don't put the toilet paper over, you do it under because you save toilet paper that way.
She says it saves toilet paper to go under instead of over with the roll. I don't know this stuff. I need to see like Mythbusters figure that one out.
No, does anybody? No.
No,
Just me.
good,
Okay.
good. That's just you. I love it. Hit us with the next one.
What's one thing you hope your kids will say about you when they're older?
Okay, so I want my kids to remember me as a woman that always say yes to God. Even though sometimes it's hard to say yes to the will of God, I want them to remember me as a woman that always say yes. Yes, God, I'm willing to do it.
For me, it's I want them to remember me as their biggest supporter. Like, Mom was always there. Mom showed up when I had a game. Mom showed up when I had XYZ. And I just want them to know that they are loved and that I cherish them. And I'm trying not to cry. And that I was just there. I want to be their biggest cheerleader. That Mom was their biggest cheerleader. Mom was their biggest supporter. If I need something, I know I can go to Mom and she's going to cheer me on. So.
Yeah, I want Abby to say that I served the Lord with joy and that I was committed to the things of God and serving Him in the house of God. I don't want it to be that she thinks we just do this walk because we're checking something off or because we feel obligated, which I think, if I'm being honest, at times we can all kind of feel that for a second, but to get back into it and be real and really get back to that joy. And, it wasn't always something that I just did and enjoyed, right? So there was a season where it was a question, are we going to show up? Let's see how we feel. Let's see if anything comes up, Sunday morning or midweek. And if you know how that went, there were a lot of things that we missed. It was prescribed to me and my husband before we had a child. Show up, when the doors are open, be here. And that has absolutely changed my walk with God, just making it not a question.
These are all great sermons. And you know what's neat is I've got a window into each of your lives to a certain degree, and I can say with confidence that you live the testimony that you're hoping your children will be able to testify about you later on. And we're glad to be able to see that. And I think there's so many mothers in the room that if we had a chance to interview you and talk to you about what is it that you would like for your children to remember about you, or what is it that they that would stand out in these moments. I believe there's so many beautiful stories here of mothers that have made an impact on your children that they will always testify to some incredible things that you've been able to do and you continue to do in their lives. I want to ask you this question. How do you stay grounded? How do you keep showing up and being, as a mom in ministry, how do you keep doing things that you're supposed to do when you're feeling overwhelmed?
So for me, I would say that God has given me beautiful children, but He also blessed me with a wonderful man. My husband, he helped me a lot. He encouraged me, and I think that if we do a great job, we can overcome everything. So I would say that we need help, and that's the thing that make me keep going forward.
Yeah, I like to reflect on what God's brought me through and back, all the people who were there for me and who showed up and still do and encouraged me, the greeters who, when I first walked up to these doors, I was a mess. I was broken. I was bound in addiction, and there was a greeter with a genuine smile. There was an usher. There were people who prayed with me and showed up and taught me a small group and just taught me about Jesus, and it encourages me. We're all in this together. Just show up, and if God can use me in any way to encourage others and give back, I want to do that.
Yeah, I agree with everything that they've said. I mean, definitely, my husband has been such a huge support. I have an amazing in-law family as well, and they are so awesome, and so they help me a lot. It takes a village, right? We all say that. It takes a village, your people that you have surrounding you to encourage you and just help you walk through things. And then the other thing, too, is for me, a lot of it is just, especially with my ministry, I was not raised in the church. I didn't come to know Jesus until I was a teenager. And so for me, having kids right now that are in, Planet Kids and things like that, that's what really drives it home for me, is because there is a need. Like, I want my kids to have what I didn't. And so I want there to be a person in their lives when they're kids that will encourage them and teach them about the Lord and strengthen them and teach them all of that. And so that's why when life is stressful and it could be so easy to just say, you know what, Lord, this is too much. I can't do this right now. Why are you calling me to do this? That's when I go, okay, it's important. It's one of the most important things I'll do with my whole life. And being a mom is the most important thing I feel like that you can do as a woman of God. And so that just keeps me going, because it's just so important. What we're called to do is so important. Being a mom, being that person in somebody else's, even if it's not your child, being that mom figure in someone else's life, just to encourage them and help them grow in the Lord, it's so important.
I love it. There's many in the room that you don't go home to. You don't go home to the support that we're talking about here today. There's some that you don't have, maybe the father's not in the picture on a regular basis or other things. What we're seeing through all of these stories, though, is that there is help available. There's somebody out there that's willing to help in the process of parenting, to be there when it feels overwhelming. And every individual here, just know that we talked about this as being a family. That's exactly what this is. This is a family. So if you are trying to do this alone, and it feels like alone at times, that you don't have the other family members around to be able to support that are natural family members, well, your spiritual family is here to be that support. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, just know we're here for that. We're here to help you through that process. There's many, many, many more in the room that are experiencing something very similar to you. It might not feel like it at first, but I assure you, when you look around enough, there's somebody in the same season of life or in a similar situation to where you are, and just know that as mothers are testifying here today, it takes some help. So get some help, because we're here for that. Do you believe that here? Do you believe that this morning?
That's good. Be that Sister Rachel to somebody else, and you just never know how much of an impact that you'll make on somebody and their families.
Amen. Not to be confused with Miss Rachel. So if you guys know who that is, you guys don't know, you guys don't have little kids. Okay, Miss Rachel is like the internet phenomenon that teaches kids all their ABCs and everything else under the sun. So there's Miss Rachel, that's good, and then there's Sister Rachel, that's way better.
Be Sister Rachel. Be that Sister Rachel. What's something you learned about God through being a mom that you probably couldn't have learned any other way?
I would say just a better picture of how much God really loves me. I think of Abby and how much I love her, and I would do anything for her, and I care so much about her future and her well-being. And it just gives me a glimpse of how much God, because I know I can't even begin to fathom how much he loves us, but it just gives me an idea of how much more he loves and cares for me.
Yes, I want to add that I right now in the stage of teaching my children the right and the wrong and the consequences, because I love them so much and I want to protect them. And I see God, the love of God for us, and the protection that sometimes he corrects us because he loves us so much and he wants the best for us. So this is something that I have learned. Mm-hmm.
Mine's just short, but something that I'm still learning is patience. I think that we all, whether you're a mom or not, you struggle with patience. And definitely having 4 kids, I am learning every day to practice patience and continue to seek the Lord and have him help me with my patience, because it's not easy to keep it.
And isn't that wild to see it, though, is, those that are parents and, even if you're just a human, you're seeing it, but especially as parents, that how many times our children mess up and do things wrong, and how much more God has been patient with us throughout our entire life, and how often we continue to mess up. And it just teaches us, you know what, if God can be that patient with me, I need to be even that much more patient with my child. So I love to hear the stories that are being taught to us. Let me ask you the one last question, guys, and here it is. Has there been a mom in your life who has helped shaped you, or someone that is, an example that has just stuck out to you that really impacted you as a mother?
Yeah, so I'll start with the first woman that I think of is my mother-in-law, Sister Tricia. I watched how much she loved her son and loves him, and even when we were in a very tough season before we were parents, she stayed so strong in her faith, unwavering, loving him and me through it all, and always had, obviously prayed over us and for us, and always had the right scripture to leave out for me and for him. And she gave me my first Bible, and I look up to her so much. I want to touch on just a couple others. Sister Forbush, our former First Lady, she was our First Lady when I was a newlywed, and then when I was a new mom. And her prayers for me and my family and our whole church, and her covering, and just all the random parenting questions I've asked her over the years, and the times that were tough, where she was there and, gave me advice and prayed with me. I just love her so much. I love you, Sister Forbush. And our First Lady, Sister Tiffany. I struggle here because it is hard for me to put into words how much you mean to me and to my family, and how much we look up to you. It's almost like I have to avoid it because it's so tough. Your grace, your kindness, all of the things you do behind the scenes, not being in the spotlight. You come up when, that was a question in a devotion I was doing with Abby last week. Who does stuff and serves God and isn't in the spotlight? And you might be up here sometimes, but you were immediately the first person that came to mind. I don't even know the half of it. And the things, your parenting, your ministry, you're there for all of us, and you do it all with such grace and such calmness. I don't know what goes on the inside, but I've never seen you frazzled or angry or anything, just the love. And I am so thankful that I have you as an example and someone to walk through this mom life with, and more than anything, that my daughter has you as a First Lady to look up to, and just that example that you set for all of us moms, and all of us women, even who aren't mothers. You're just amazing, and I just love you so much, and my family does.
Yes, so just to piggyback off of Sister Catherine, there's so many people, like I kind of said earlier, that takes a village, but there's so many different women in here that I could say have helped shape me into the person that I am. Specifically, my mother-in-law also, not to be the same, but like I said, I wasn't raised in church, and so when I came and married my husband, she took me in. I was her daughter, and she's taught me how to be a mom, and she's taught me how to be a good wife, and she's taught me how to lead in ministry, and she's done all the things. But she has always instilled in her boys and in us, her daughter-in-laws, that your family comes first. After God, it's your family. And make the time to make it important, like make things matter. The little things do matter, and the little things you do every day with your children, the little things you do every day with your family, they do matter. And that's been so impactful with me and how I want my kids to be raised and how just feeling that love. If you've ever met my mother-in-law, you know she's the most giving person. She'll bake you a casserole any day of the week if you need it. Lasagna also. So she is just that kind of person, and that's who I want to be. When I grow up, I want to be like her. Yeah. So, and then, of course, Sister Tiffany, you know, I love you so much. You are, like Sister Catherine said, you are not a person that likes spectacle. She's not a person that's like, oh, yeah, make sure that I'm spotlighted and make sure I'm put up there. She is not that personality at all. If you know her, she is the sweetest, most kind person. She's the most genuine person, authentic person I've ever met.
I did not pay them to say this.
but she really is. I mean, if you've gotten to sit and talk with her for any length of time, you just know that she has a heart for people, and that she just walks alongside with people that she is passionate about. And you know, especially with her son, if you've met her son, he is very calm and cool and collected and, you know, very chill. And I think a lot of that is from his mama, you know, dad too, but I think a lot of it is from his mama. And it's a good testament to the atmosphere in their home and, you know, just having that peace and that calmness. So thank you, Sister Tiffany, so much for doing motherhood with us, walking alongside of us. We appreciate you. We love you.
You guys got something for her? That's what it looks like here. Okay. See, look at that. It was right under you the whole time. She had no idea it was hers.
I was looking at
She's
this
like, I like
weekend.
this plant.
Yes. I didn't know it was real. Well, thank you guys.
So we love you, Sister Tiffany. Let's give her a big hand clap, Sister Tiffany. What an awesome First Lady.
Thank you so much. I just feel so blessed to be a mom, a daughter, your First Lady, and I wanted to talk about my little buddy a little bit, but I'm just so thankful to be your mom. My little buddy is going on 14, a little teenager, and I'm sure you can tell I'm looking up to him now, but I'm just so thankful for what God has blessed us with, and thank you so much. Happy Mother's Day. Oh, and you know what? My mom couldn't be here today. Ma, happy Mother's Day.
We would also like to give something special for a beautiful lady. This incredible woman has given me so many advices. When we recently came here to Richmond and start the ministry in the Spanish church, she took her own time to talk to me, to also, she showed me how to be a mom, like a fun mom, and she gave me an excellent book about how to manage the children sleeping, the routine. And I want Sister Forbush to come forward. She is so incredible. I know that we can see we have been blessed with her wisdom, with her advice. Thank you, Sister Forbush, for everything. We can see the legacy here in PORVA. Thank you.
Mother's Day to the most wonderful mothers. I look at all of you and I'm so proud of you. You have been a tremendous example to your family, and you've been a tremendous example to PORVA. We don't mind anybody going around this city and saying, I'm a mom and I'm from PORVA. Wow.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want you to right here. Oh.
And one more thing. I hope y'all can create a beautiful son like we have.
I don't know about that one. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you to the panel. Didn't they do a phenomenal job? Great job. Every one of you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.